This is an
I think we
epic
did it,
train
guys.
wreck.
I think we got it.
I don't
First
know.
try.
I missed the beginning, like the whoa.
I think we all missed most of the
parts. Well, welcome back to another episode of Carousel of Conversations. For those of you who don't know, my name is RJ. What are your guys' names?
Jesselyn. I almost said Jorge on accident. Jorge!
Oh my word. And what's your name, sir?
Danger.
Oh,
Noah.
My word. Noah. Welcome back to another episode of the Carousel of Conversation. We had a little bit of an unplanned break from the podcast for a bit. After 80 episodes,
you guys did.
It was unplanned.
I got deathly ill. I thought I was gonna die.
Yes. So
we've all been there.
Jesselyn and I ended up getting CT scans within a week of each other. So that was
within
really
a day
fun.
of each other, not just a week, a day.
Do you guys use the same machine? Was like a his and hers machine?
But we met our insurance deductible in 2 days.
So,
that's always nice.
And
it's like a streak. You got to break it as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So we had a health crisis. I moved offices. Noah was on vacation, and then we went on vacation. And then before all of this craziness, Jesselyn had like graduation and all this stuff going on at her school. So it was just absolutely insane in our lives for a few weeks. And we kept saying, "Oh, we got to get back to recording. We got to get back to recording," and it just never happened. So we're excited to be back.
We were this close to having a Noah episode where it was just me talking the whole time.
That's about where we were at.
And actually, I said no because I thought the world couldn't handle that. I don't think you guys were ready. It would be either 15 or 20 minutes long, or maybe an hour, maybe 2.
Yeah, maybe. Also, during that time, I did switch offices. So I went from the smaller guest bedroom to a slightly bigger guest bedroom and swapped it with that. And so, yeah, I have a little bit more
Check out all
space,
those Funko Pops back there.
I still haven't.
mine.
They're very fun.
Stuff. So
Very fun, Co.
yes.
Well, 2 of the shelves are mine.
Yes, they are. And so and then we've got some new stuff from our trip that we're going to talk about in a future episode.
I'm in the same office, however.
Yeah.
I haven't moved. Neither has Jesselyn, which I was expecting at least one of us to move, We were gone for 4 episodes?
Yeah, it's a long time. We took a month off.
Man.
Yeah, it was totally unplanned and I hated it.
Not paid, though.
Yeah.
That was awful. Not paid vacation.
Well, we did have someone buy some magic candles.
Yes, we did.
We
so
did?
That was awesome.
did.
Yes, we did. So shout out to whoever did that because I didn't get the
Thank
information
you.
as to who did that. Yes, thank you
What
so
did you
much.
order? What candles did you order? I wanna
No,
know
we
the
didn't
smells so I
order
can
them.
judge you. No, I'm asking
Yeah.
them.
Oh, yeah.
What smells so I can judge you if you actually got the good ones?
I don't think it told us.
It said the 5-pack of oils is what it said. So,
Ooh. I wanna
but
get
yeah,
This
some
is my favorite candle.
on our website, it tells you that you can order those using the code Carousel Pod for 15% off at checkout on the Magic Candle Company website. So definitely check that out. And that really helps us to continue to produce the show. We're going to do it anyways, but that little bit helps us even more. Today, we decided instead of doing a trip report, because Noah's going to be leaving us again in a few weeks, that we were going to go ahead and do 2 weeks. Yeah, so he'll be here the following episode, but not the episode after that. And in that time, we'll probably do some of our trip report stuff. Maybe even next week we'll start it. But we both, or all 3 of us, have gone to see the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And we really wanted to talk about that because I think all 3 of us had opinions and we wanted to share those with you. So I am warning you now. If you haven't seen the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, then go ahead and shut this episode off and come
Get out of
back
here.
after you've seen it, because we have
Yeah.
opinions. Here's what I did want to talk about before we get into the spoilers section. Did you think it was worth it? Did you enjoy the movie? And we're going to give a brief summary and then we're going to talk about it fully. Was it kid friendly? So did you enjoy the movie? Just like one word, yes or no? And then is it kid friendly? What do you think in a brief
I'm mostly interested
summary?
in Jesselyn's opinion of this answer because she doesn't like Star Wars.
I know at one point, RJ, you wanted to talk about our Star Wars level of fandom. Do you want to do that first?
No,
Okay.
we're going to go into the
All right.
spoiler zone.
So I will say that I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I thought it was good too.
you know your kid. So that then
Mm-hmm.
at that point you'll know if your kid can handle it or not.
Yeah, we'll say there's a couple times where we took Bella, and there were a couple times where there were some bigger monsters, like definitely know your kid, and so we warned her about it because you can tell when it's coming, and we said if you're scared, just cover your eyes. But ultimately, she's 6. And she like laughed her head off, had the time of her life. We're gonna go into more detail with that in just a second. Noah, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Again,
Okay.
know your kid. I don't have one. I brought myself. So if your kid's braver than me, go straight ahead.
All right, now from here on out, we're gonna get into spoilers section, and we're gonna talk about this movie a little bit more. So if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go watch it. Go watch it, because we want more content like this. And then come back and listen to the episode. All right, first let's talk about our experience with Star Wars. Noah, do you have any experience with Star Wars? Do you know anything about Star Wars? Was this your
Just a
first
little.
experience with Star Wars altogether?
Well, it wasn't my first, but I have a couple things of Star Wars, as you saw with the Darksaber and the helmet, the 2 helmets up there, the Ronto action figure here. I know a little bit.
Yes. Jesselyn, are you a fan of Star Wars?
I think this is the first Star Wars episode that we've done that I've been a part of. Anytime.
I think so, you're right.
Anytime we do something Star Wars, I'm like, please don't let me be a part of this. Like, that's my level of fandom.
Every May the 4th, Justin knows she has a day off. And...
I have a day off coming. I will say that ever since RJ and I have been married, which I didn't watch Star Wars until we got married. There was like 2 weeks of our marriage where we didn't have like cable or internet set up. So all we watched were Star Wars DVDs while we unpacked into our new home. So every May 4th, I will watch the movies with RJ. I have agreed to that. But typically I have like stopped it there, like no more, just the movies. And by episode 3, I'm like, these are the dumbest things I've ever seen. Okay. But this time I agreed to watch the Mandalorian series because the new Mandalorian movie was coming out and Noah was going to be out of town. So typically Noah and his brother Spencer go with RJ to see movies that I don't want to see. And so they were going to be out of town. So RJ's like, you've got to watch this series with me so we can watch the movies. So it's been a month and I have finally finished all the Star Wars stuff with RJ. And I will say that I am still like, I enjoy Mandalorian storyline a lot, but I would not consider myself a fan.
Nice. And I do consider myself a fan. So I've been watching Star Wars in theaters since I think episode 1 was my first one watching in theaters. And I've watched, I mean, obviously I'd watched 4, 5, and 6 leading up to that just at home on VHS, dating myself there a little bit. But now I've gone through and watched them. I basically, and Jesselyn can attest to this, have 1, 2, and 3 memorized and can quote it. That's how much I've enjoyed the Star Wars movies. 7, 8, 9, not my favorites, but I think that the series after that, the Dave Filoni and John
Favreau. Not
Favreau.
Fartrow.
Yeah, Favreau. I always get that messed up. But the series that they've created has just been way better than anything that Kathleen Kennedy put out as far as movies are concerned.
And she's
So Kathleen-
gone now. We can celebrate like
Woohoo!
the Ewoks did.
So they started with the Clone Wars series, and then they got into Rebels, Bad Batch, Ahsoka, and Mandalorian as part of that between the two of those creators. And so now they've basically, like, the expanded universe of Star Wars has been written or directed by those two guys. And I feel like their expansion of the Star Wars universe has been... Did they do Andor as well?
No, they did not. Some
Okay, I
other
was
guy
gonna
with
say.
long white hair did.
Okay, but like their expansion of the Star Wars universe has been my favorite. And honestly, I think Noah may disagree with me on this, and that's totally fine. I think I like their expansion of the Star Wars universe better than some of the original storylines of Star Wars.
I mean, definitely than the holiday special. I'll give you that. Even though I have a Life Day robe. I should have worn it for today.
If you guys would like to truly know what kind of fan I am, here are my top 5 favorite characters from Star Wars. Jar Jar Binks.
Oh,
I called it. I like Jar Jar.
Ewoks. C-3PO. These little guys that are in the Mandalorian, what are they called?
The Anzellans.
The what?
Anzellans.
Anzellans. They're like the, hey, baby, you know.
Did you say it like a New York accent? Hey, baby.
That's what they sound like. And then my fifth one is Kylo Ren. So those are my favorite
that's rough.
Star Wars characters.
Yeah, sadly, my first Star Wars experience was
The
The Force Awakens and Kylo Ren.
Really?
That was my first Star Wars experience, sadly.
Oh, no.
Like, not, I'd seen the other movies, but like my first theatrical Star Wars experience.
Mine was Rogue One. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Justin, I met a Ewok at Hollywood Studios. 2 of them.
Cool.
I met
That's
Logray and not Wicket. I think it was Chief Chirpa.
I didn't know they had names.
With Chewbacca.
Great.
Well, Chief Chirpa, he's the chief, so...
Okay.
Now, in watching
Where's the big
these,
skull?
Jessalyn, I had her watch all of the Mandalorian series and the Book of Boba Fett episodes. So there was like 3 or 4 episodes. And she admitted to me that she liked the Mandalorian storyline a lot better than some of the Star Wars movie storylines.
I think I said that too on here. If I didn't, I meant to.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Mandalorian storyline a lot.
Now, obviously, if we were to talk about like a comedy show that like she likes, like Parks and Rec above this, she would pick Parks and Rec every time. But if we're talking about the Star Wars universe, I think she would probably say that Mandalorian was more of her speed than
I
what
could
some
see
of the
that.
other Star Wars series were.
It's
And
kind of
so,
The Mandalorian gives a more Marvel feel to Star Wars
Yeah.
than
I would
anything
agree to
else.
that.
It's more
Yeah.
Marvel-esque.
Yeah.
okay, and then something we totally didn't expect from all of this is that Bella got super into Mandalorian.
Oh
I'm so
my
happy for her.
word. Like took on a whole new personality.
Okay, while we were at
amazing.
Disney World, what did she tell us?
That she wanted to get a Grogu. Like this thing on my shoulder is Bella's. This was her gift from her dad. And so he got her this, and then Bella bought herself the little baby Grogu that's wrapped up in a
Aw.
blankie. And then they met Mandalorian and the little Grogu thing, and like she wanted to do all the Star Wars rides. Her favorite ride right now is Star Tours, Noah. I know that you would appreciate that.
Yeah,
She
the Star Tours over
loves
there.
it. I know. She wanted to meet Darth Vader. Like she's just like, and I
You
kept
can.
like, and you know how we have our picture, and she did.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know how we have our picture method where like we take pictures throughout the
Mhm.
week? When we were going through the end of the week of all what did she want to buy? Like she would say no to all the princess stuff. She only wanted
Yes.
Grogu things.
Ah, amazing. I like to think that's my fault. You're welcome.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
played
all
you
up to
guys a
me.
lot
Yeah.
too.
In
Thanks,
fact, when she
guys.
started like obsessing over it, I'm like, that Smith family has had too big of an influence on Bella.
Her cousins.
Yeah.
Her Smith
Her boys
cousins.
is what she calls them.
Mhm.
Her boys.
Well,
The
what's
boys.
even
Let me go
better
get the
is that
boys about that.
she said for my school stuff for next year, all I want is Grogu stuff.
Yeah.
She's like
She wants
Grogu
a Grogu
backpack, Grogu
backpack. Yeah.
lunchbox. Like,
Oh,
and she even
amazing.
got a, which we'll bring this maybe next week or whenever we do our trip report. But she also got a mystery box
Yeah, she
Grogu
did. Yeah.
that
Oh,
she
those
got as
things,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, so
They
it
sell
was super
those in
cool. She's
Target.
super into it. Okay, so let's talk about, so now that we've kind of established our knowledge of it, I did try to get Jesselyn to watch Ahsoka and Rebels, but that was pushing it too much for her.
That was pushing it just a little, I think.
But now that we've established kind of our knowledge of Star Wars a little bit and where we're at with all of it, let's talk about, do you need to watch the Mandalorian series in order to watch the movie? What did you guys think? Noah, specifically, what did you think?
Honestly, I don't think you do. Even I don't even think you really need to watch the Mandalorian series to
No.
watch Mandalorian Grogu, because everyone knows the Mandalorian and Grogu. They know, they're together. Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian. They're like a group. So you just walk into the movie knowing that. You don't really need anything else. There's one part in the movie. We have the spoiler warning up already, right? You
Yep.
already said spoiler.
Yep.
Whenever Mando takes his helmet off and they're like, "Oh, now you are
You've been
Shamed.
excommunicated. You're shamed." Yeah. And that's the only really part where you're like, "Oh, yeah, you have to know that." And I guess the job of the Hutt with Rod of the Hutt stuff, and if you really want to get into it, Rod of the Hutt is from the Clone Wars series, where he's a
Yep.
little stink baby.
Yep. Jocelyn's totally lost. What did you think, though?
I was gonna say, with being someone who is not a Star Wars fan going into it, even though I agree with Noah, I don't feel like you have to watch the series. I do think that there were things in the series that were helpful. Okay, when I say we've joked about it, but the world really needs to know I'm not a Star Wars fan. I'm just
No,
not. I don't have the knowledge like they do. I could care less.
You
to have the
remember Jar Jar
knowledge.
Binks, which is a lot to say, honestly.
Yes. Yeah. So I knew that, Mandalorian and Grogu were like a team, but I didn't realize the child father aspect until you watch the series. So, and I think that helped with the movie a little bit too, because Grogu takes care of him, all the things. And the helmet being removed, I think that was really important, because I didn't realize that was a big deal beforehand. So is it necessary? No. But is it helpful? Yeah. I mean, but you don't have to.
Yeah, but you didn't know Rod of the Hutt, and he's from the Clone Wars. You didn't know Zeb.
And I didn't feel lost on that. Every time someone came up that was a part of the Clone Wars, RJ would lean over and be like, "He's from the Clone Wars," and so he kept me in the loop. But I don't feel lost. I didn't feel lost, at least. Yeah.
There are a lot of characters that weren't even in Mandalorian that were a part of the movie. Some from Ahsoka, like the Rebel leader was from Ahsoka. You've also got Zeb, which is from Rebels, and Ahsoka as well. But
the BDX droids, which are from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, officially now.
Yeah, but they were just in the background.
They were. I'm so sad because at D20 or Destination D, I think they showed them with the little Anzellans riding them. Basically, I'm like, oh, are we gonna have them riding the little robots? No, I was so mad.
Yeah, and then some of those characters, like the Anzellans, were from the newer Star Wars movies. So,
Last Jedi,
I think a background of Mandalorian storyline, like Jesselyn said and Noah said, is helpful. I don't think it's absolutely necessary. If you have a basic knowledge of Star Wars, you could enjoy this movie. But I do think it helps to understand the characters a little bit more. And I think that's the problem with the reviews, because there's we can talk about that a little bit. The reviews are it's okay, or it's not getting the box office numbers that it typically would for a traditional Star Wars movie. Even the Solo movie is outpacing Mandalorian Grogu, and I think this is a much better movie than, in my personal opinion, and this is going to be controversial, I think this movie is better than Rogue One or the Solo movie
Really?
combined. Honestly, I like it better than the 7, 8, and 9 too.
Oh
If
yeah,
I'm just being
that's a
completely
low bar.
transparent.
That's a low bar.
But I think that it's a excellent movie. But that's because
Mhm.
I followed Mandalorian and Grogu since
Yeah.
season 1, and I told Jesselyn before we went and saw this movie, I said, they should have ended it at the end of season 3, like with Grogu
Mhm.
and Mandalorian on Navarro just
Yeah.
chilling at their new house. Like that's where they should have ended it. But then the
Mhm.
movie just did it justice. I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it was great. It was just like a classic adventure movie, you know? It was just
Yeah,
kinda like, one thing happens, we gotta go get this, we gotta go get this, we gotta go get this. It was kind of a MacGuffin the whole time, but the MacGuffin was a Rod of the Hutt, so it was kinda strange, but I liked
yeah,
it. It was just, action, adventure. "Oh, Mandalorian's gonna kill that guy in a different way this time." So
yeah,
There was
yeah,
a lot of action.
It
Lot of
was good
action.
yeah,
action, though.
for sure.
Yeah.
I felt like this was the truest sense of a bounty hunter good guy
Mhm.
movie. Like
Yeah.
like you get the bounty hunter aspect from Mandalorian the show, but like this is like a good guy bounty hunter working for the good guys, you know. Most of the time you get like Boba Fett working for the Hutts or something like that. This was the truest sense of good guy bounty hunter is basically what it is, but there's a lot of action and a lot of monsters. Okay, now let's talk about that. Is this for kids? So it's rated PG-13, and a lot of the reviews that I read said 10 plus is what you should do to see it. We brought our 6-year-old knowing full well what it was going to be. We warned her ahead of time, like there might be some of this, or there might be some scary monsters, or whatever. And she decided she still wanted to see it. We left I mean, obviously, as informed parents, we left the decision up to her after reviewing it ourselves a little bit. But do you think that it's family friendly? Ultimately, Grogu is a very much so a kid magnet, as Bella
Mhm.
can definitely
Attest
attest
to.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think that it's kid friendly, or do you think that it's okay for kids to watch? What were
Justin,
your
what do
guys'
you
thoughts?
think?
I think it goes back to my statement I said earlier, you know what your kid can handle.
Yeah.
Some kids, like, I mean, the monsters that they're fighting in there, I mean, they're like Star Wars monsters. They're not like horror creepy, but like they're creepy looking things.
Mhm.
You know what I
They're
mean?
kinda scary looking.
Yeah. And so you have to know, like there might be some kids who would get nightmares from that and they would be scared. Bella is not that kid. So we felt comfortable taking her. If language and or appropriateness is what you're concerned about. Zero language, completely
Mhm.
appropriate. I
Yeah,
did
they only use
not
Star Wars
feel
curse words, so
Yeah.
yeah. I did not feel uncomfortable having Bella in the theater watching it by any means. But I
Yeah.
think it just goes back to, and just like, and RJ and I will probably talk about this a lot when we talk about our trip report. You know your kid and don't push your kid just because you want to do it. Like same thing for
Yeah.
when people go to Disney World, right? Like you push your kid and then they have breakdowns. Um, if your kid can handle scenes like that, take them. It's fine. But if they can't, then just wait till it comes on Disney Plus or something.
Yeah, I always check a couple of sites before we take Bella to any movie. That's just my ultimate pattern. So I look at IMDb and the parental guide, which can be actually a bit extreme in some cases. And then I look at Common Sense Media as another website. And parents, if you don't do that, those are definitely two good resources
Yeah.
that you can look up ahead of time to kind of get a good sense. And it's Common Sense Media is more parents reviewing it. To give you a good idea from a parent's perspective. And there was one parent that's said they brought their 7-year-old. Most of them were like 10, 13, 14, or teenagers that were like, yeah, it's fine. But the 7-year-old brought up a good point, and so I warned Bella ahead of time. They were like, hey, if your kid struggles with like monsters or giant bugs or
Mhm.
things like that, then don't bring your kid to this if they're going to have
Yeah,
nightmares about that sort of
I'd
stuff,
agree with that.
because there was a lot of that. She
Yeah, there's a
wasn't
lot of
scared
big
of
scary monsters.
Yeah, and, like, the fight with Rada the Hutt and the arena, all those monsters and bugs and
Honestly,
things
the
like that.
twins, the two Hut
Yeah.
twins, they're I don't
Yes.
they're creepy.
Gross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the hut world and then the giant snake creature and, like,
Mhm.
weird fisherman creatures that came out of the swamp,
I
like,
like a
that
fisherman,
whole
yeah.
world. Yeah, no, I did too, but, like, that whole section of the movie could be scary for kids, and
No, yeah,
so
totally.
if you know your kid and you know, like, that sort of stuff is gonna give them nightmares, don't take them. With Bella, what I just did is when those scenes came up, I just knew it was coming. Like, you knew when he was standing in the
Mhm.
middle on over that trap door,
For
you're
some
like,
reason,
"Oh,
Huts
he's
love the
standing."
trapdoor with
Yeah,
a
yeah,
monster trick.
exactly.
No
And
one
so it's like
expects it. Like
I just leaned over to Bella, I was like, "There's probably gonna be a monster coming, just so you
But
know."
she
And she's
like
like,
already she had watched
"Okay."
the trailer so many times. She was like, Mandalorian's gonna fight a snake. Like that was like her thing.
Yeah.
She was ready
So,
for it.
yeah, she was ready for it. But, yeah, ultimately, it was I think she was fine with it, and there was no cussing or sex scenes or anything crazy, it was just monsters and fighting that
And I would say too that like if you are a Star Wars fan and your kids are Star Wars fans, like it was fun watching Bella and RJ watch this together, and like
Mhm.
there was a dad and his son that was sitting in front of us, and the dad and his son and Bella and RJ would just crack up laughing at the same time, and I'm just like, eating my popcorn, like, it's like it's cool. But they just like they enjoyed it together. It was a fun
Yeah.
experience together, and so we have no regrets taking her.
She was telling, her nana the other night about it, and, she was talking about the scene where, Grogu uses the Force to put Mando in that hut, the mud hut, Noah,
That
you
was
know what I'm talking
hilarious.
about?
Yeah, I
And where he
loved that
bumps
scene.
his head.
Mhm.
She just retelling the story to her nana was, like, cracking up laughing. She's
I
like,
do love
"And
that
then he
scene.
kept bumping his head," and then she would also tell about the time where, like, Grogu knocked on his helmet, like, and so she was just, like, cracking up about
Mhm.
those things and loved it from that perspective.
I
So
would
there was a
also like
lot
to
of
say that I love how the Yoda species, it's their natural instinct just to make clay domes
Yeah,
and
that's
clay
what I told
houses.
Jocelyn.
Because Yoda did that in
Yep,
the 4
yep,
and
at
5. It's
Dagobah.
just funny. I'm
Yeah.
like, wow.
Well, and then the other thing too that I mentioned is the staff,
Yeah.
Mhm.
where he was walking around with the staff for a little bit. I thought that was
That
hilarious.
was great. I loved that little scene. It was so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the actual movie theater. Did you guys just watch it in 2D? Did you watch it in IMAX? What do you guys think about the merch? Was there any merch when you went? Let's talk about the movie theater
Remember that
experience
theater
next.
we went to see Moana 2 in?
Yeah, where the
Yes.
handles came off the chairs.
Same place. So, no merch. Almost 1D. Kinda 1D. Lighting would flicker every once in a while. Sound was less than optimal.
Yeah.
But I had an armrest the whole time, so
That's great.
Yeah, so Noah went and saw it in basically a theater that's falling apart.
Small town theater.
yeah.
Yes, at the beach, which
But I'm okay.
is totally fine.
I didn't like the popcorn buckets for this movie. I was not a
Yeah,
fan.
yeah, talk about that, please.
So I think the only ones I found were a bucket that had Grogu on the side of it, and it looked like it was like a metal plated popcorn bucket with
Yeah.
Grogu and the Anzellans like climbing up the side. I was like, okay, that's all right. You could get that one at Walmart, funny enough, and you get a discount on your tickets if you went to an AMC theater. Wasn't that cool?
Hmm.
Oh, cool.
And then the second one I was able to find was just the AT-AT in the beginning
Yeah.
of the Mandalorian on like hanging on the side, and you just put like a popcorn those cardboard popcorn things they give you at Disney if you don't want it in the
Yeah.
popcorn bucket. It would just
Yeah.
stick in the top of the AT-AT. I'm like, come on, like you could have had the Mandalorian helmet as the popcorn bucket. Like it's the perfect thing for one, But no, they were lazy and stupid.
I think that a lot of the merch was like it depended on the theater you went to. Most
Mhm.
of them just had those metal buckets. I feel like they didn't really think it through. Like Jocelyn and I loved the Project Hail Mary. And even in that one, they had a space helmet popcorn bucket that was
Oh
super
yeah.
awesome. But in this one, we did not go to a nice theater. Jessalyn, you can talk about that too, if you want to, but
Well, the local theater here in town has been around for a very long time, and they are not making any updates to it. It is not near as bad as where Noah was at, but, like,
no.
it's one of those theaters you walk and you hear your shoes sticking to the floor, you know? Not
It
it's
looks like the
just
carpet hasn't been cleaned in, like, 30
yeah,
years.
I mean, that carpet's been there since I was in high school, so it's just like a whole it looks the same. So, but it's a Regal theater, and Regal does, for their Regal members, does $6 movies on Tuesdays, and you get discounts off popcorn, so which is why we decided to go there, because it's for the 3 of us. I mean, that's a pretty cheap movie to see, so
Yeah, so we saw it for $20, so, like, that's
yeah.
That's
really
pretty
good
cheap.
for a
Yeah.
theater these days. Yeah, so our theater wasn't IMAX or anything special, and then by the time we went, unfortunately, they were out of all the merch, but that theater is pretty common. Like, if you don't go within the first couple days,
Mhm.
the popcorn buckets are pretty much sold out, so the only thing they had at that point was Master of the Universe stuff, but no Mandalorian
We
stuff.
lucked
They
out. What movie did we see there that we looked? Oh, Wicked Part 2. We went,
Yeah,
like, or no, we went the day of. Is that what it
yeah,
was? We went the
yeah,
day it
we
was
did.
released. Yeah, but we didn't yeah, that's right. Okay, 'cause I was gonna say, there was one time we got a popcorn bucket and a cup from Regal, and it must have
Yeah.
been because it was the day the movie
So
released.
we went and saw Stitch there, and the next day we saw the Stitch movie, like the day after it came out, and we could see they were doing a charity giveaway for the Stitch popcorn bucket, and it was gone. Like
Mm.
the only one they had left was for the charity raffle thing. But they did have some of what Jessalyn's actually got on her shoulder, taking off of her
I
shoulder,
took it
but
off my shoulder.
they had some of those like stuffed animals. Yeah.
Yeah, they're starting to
um
sell those in the, like, stores now. I saw them at Target the other day.
Yeah, so they had a couple of those. It looks like the stuffed animal without the noise making and the
Mhm.
shoulder type thing, but they had a couple of those stuffed animals that you could
They
buy,
were
but that was
selling those
about
at
it.
Disney, that exact
Yeah.
one.
Mhm. So that was the only thing they've really had as far as Mandalorian merch. And then our theater was just like it was a bigger theater than normal for us, but it was just a like
Seats don't even
average theater.
recline. They only rock.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
recline.
So it's pretty bad. Okay, let's talk about the story and the plot breakdown experience from that perspective. Do you feel like okay, so timeline wise, Noah, what's the timeline for Mandalorian? Like where does he fit in?
After episode 6, before episode 7.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure when, but that's the time period.
Yeah, so he's in between Return of the Jedi and like when Rey and Kylo Ren make their appearance. So like somewhere in between that zone
Mhm.
is where it takes place.
So the rebels have
Um
taken over the galaxy. They're the government now.
Right, the New Republic.
Mhm.
Yep, and they're hunting the kind of Imperial remnants that are left on the planet and trying to hunt them all down. So that's kind of the story. It takes place alongside, so you'll see characters like Luke in the Mandalorian TV series, but you'll also see like Ahsoka from the Clone Wars series as a part of this storyline as well.
How
And then
old is
you'll see
Ahsoka at that point in the in like the
old.
series?
Yeah,
She's
old.
old as she I don't
Yeah,
know how
and then
old.
you'll also see, like, alongside them, you'll see, the villains from Clone Wars and Rebels. So, you'll see, what's his name? Grand Admiral Thrawn as part of
Mhm.
this type of series, not in this specific movie, but that just kinda gives you a timeline. Do you felt like this was more of a made for Disney Plus like we felt about Moana 2 was, and then they threw it on the big screen? Or do you feel like this was really truly made for the theaters?
It kind of felt like a theatrical movie to me, more so than Moana 2 for sure. It was very
Yeah.
like, it didn't it felt like Mandalorian season 4 a little bit, but it felt like it
Yeah.
was a good movie adaptation to that. Unlike Moana 2, which was supposed to be a series, but they turned it into a movie. This feels more like a movie that was made for theaters.
I
Yeah.
agree with Noah. I definitely I remember watching Moana 2 specifically and thinking, this is a waste of money, like but I didn't feel that way with Mandalorian and Grogu, but I definitely would have been okay if it was just a Disney Plus. But that reflects my fandom level as well.
Right.
So, yeah.
I feel like the movie itself felt like a movie because there was a part of it where you thought, "Is it over?" And
Mhm.
then it like had a twist where
Yeah.
like Mando got really hurt at the Hut Palace, and then you thought, "Is this over? Like, is this the end of it?" Even Jesselyn
Yeah.
said
No, I did think
afterwards,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
There was a
that
part that one specific part I was like, "Oh, this is how they're gonna end his storyline."
Mhm.
Like, that's why I thought they made the movie because 'cause they're gonna end him here. So I was convinced
yeah.
of that.
Yeah, so it felt like a good continuous story plot for it as well. I felt like it was budget-wise, it felt like a Star Wars movie. Like, it
Mhm.
didn't feel like even
Didn't feel
though
cheap.
no, I feel like Mandalorian, though, as a whole, hasn't felt really cheap when it
Yeah.
comes to like the first season, you can kind of tell it was made for Disney Plus.
Mhm.
Like seasons 2, Boba Fett, and then season 3 felt like a full-blown movie in like an 8-part series. So I feel like this was a good continuation of it with an even bigger
And
budget
even, like,
for it.
the amount of aliens you saw on screen, like, there was
Yeah,
a lot of aliens, and all Star Wars fans know that aliens are expensive to make
yeah,
for the movies, which is a lot of times why you don't see many of them, or if there are a lot, it's in animation. But, like, even, like,
yeah,
they added the monkey guy from Solo. It wasn't the exact guy, but it was the same species, and, like, a
yeah,
whole bunch of different aliens. I'm like, "Wow, this had a big budget."
yeah. Um, do you feel like there was like hold on. I lost my train of thought there for a second. That was terrible. I feel
RJ.
like the storyline continued though, and the stakes continued enough to where it felt like it's hard for me to judge this, right? Because Mandalorian has felt like a long form movie for every season. So watching this as a movie, it's like, oh, when is this episode going to end? But it never felt like it was an episodic thing. It felt like it was one continuous story, but it was kind of like, oh man, like you hated that it was going to end. Anyway, let's move on to characters, performance dynamic. What did you think about the characters? What did you think about like the characters as a whole? Like who was your favorite?
Hmm. The BDX droids in the background. The characters you see for 10 seconds.
Oh my goodness.
Which is
I
why I forced you guys to
love
get the popcorn bucket.
Yeah, we got it. I go back to I love those little guys, the
The
little like
Enzellans.
the yeah. Why do they have such a difficult name? Like, it could be like
It's not that good.
Ewoks.
Fun fact. The same lady, remember, oh no, the names
Oh
disappeared from my
no.
memory. Oh no. Give me 1 second, I'm buffering.
Anyways, back to what I was saying. Those little Yellens.
And
Yell
Enzellans.
Zellens.
Oh my word. And Zellens, they are hilarious to me and I love them. But I also love the Mandalorian, Mando, and Grogu. I love all of those characters. I wasn't disappointed. I think I'm a Pedro Pascal fan. I've liked anything that I have watched with him in it. I think he does a great job.
Mhm.
And so I think he does great with with the Mandalorian as well. So
I feel like the what was that bounty hunter's name, Noah? That
Embo?
yeah, so he was part of Rebels more than anything.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
so he
Clone
was
Wars. He was in
yeah, he
Clone
was a
Wars a
big part
lot.
of but he was more part of Rebels, I feel like, than Clone Wars, but still in Clone Wars as well.
Yeah, I think
Like
so.
he was pretty cool as far as like when he actually caught Mandalorian because Mandalorian has almost been this like unbeatable character. There's been a few that have been like, oh man, like Boba Fett obviously is gonna, be a good match for him. But that was a good part of the storyline, I feel like, where you see him actually get Mando actually get captured and then rely on the Anzellans to kind of like save
We
him. I
come to
love their
save you,
little
Mando.
I love their little speeder and then their spaceship and then like
I like how they had all of them and Baby Yoda fit in the spaceship at one time.
But even
was
Baby
funny.
Yoda looked like, or wow, you said Baby Yoda. Grogu like looked too big for the spaceship as well, which made it even better. And then when they
It's so
come
funny.
back
They're
to
like,
the
we come
spaceship,
back, baby. We come back.
We come back, baby.
yeah.
We saved you, Mando. But I remember my fun fact. The Anzellans and Babu Frick from episode 9 were all played by one lady. And that lady played Moaning Myrtle in Harry Potter.
Oh, I
Oh,
knew that. I
really?
saw
I
that
didn't know that.
online. Yeah, and I totally forgot. Yes.
That was my
Yeah.
fun fact.
That is a fun fact. That
That
is
is
a fun
fun.
fact.
Yeah, that is fun.
It's one of my more
It's a
fun
true one
facts.
because I remember seeing that one.
You don't fact check me. You
I
never
need to
do.
start fact checking you.
Obviously, we loved Mandalorian, and Grogu is just phenomenal in the movie. I think that they're both a great duo. I think that like Pedro Pascal doesn't always end up in the suit, which I think is cool. So like he did for the one scene with the face reveal, but most of the time it's like he's just the voice of it, and there's a bunch of stunt performers in there.
Yeah, there's
But-
two guys that actually wear the Mandalorian suit 90%
Yeah.
of the time. Pedro Pascal just records lines.
Yeah, which I think is cool as well. Grogu is CGI, but no, he was a robot in this one, wasn't he?
He was
like a
two different
robot.
puppets. They had
Yeah.
a mobile puppet that was able to like move his hands and his face a little
Right.
bit, but they had another one that had like extreme facial features for close-ups.
Right. Yeah, which
And
I
that
thought
one they
was
didn't put clothes on, so you see all like the motors from behind the scenes, and it was really freaky, and I didn't like it.
But I think that that's pretty cool, like that it wasn't a lot of CGI for him, but it was more like actual robot.
Yeah. Same with the Anzellans. All of them were puppets.
Yeah. Which I thought was great. And then I learned from some like the behind the scenes stuff that the people who created the actual costumes for a lot of the movies were actually the actors inside the costumes, because a lot of them trying to teach somebody else how to do the hand motions to make the motions work on the actual costumes themselves was so difficult when they were trying to teach actors to do that. So they actually just had the puppeteers who like made the costumes actually be in the costumes for both the Mandalorian
that's
TV
cool.
series and the movie, because they knew the ins and outs of it and they knew how to move
Yeah.
it and they created it, and so they got to wear it for the actual movie.
That's
Okay,
cool.
let's also talk about the most important part I feel like about this movie, and that was the fact that they brought the Razor Crest back. I loved it. Like,
I remember that scene very vividly. You know why?
why?
Because the BDX droids were on scene for like 5 seconds before they revealed the resurrection.
Oh
Of
my word.
course.
The non-important things that no one remembers. But I was really happy that they didn't go back to the Naboo ship, but they brought back the Razor Crest, which was the traditional ship. I love how when they went to Navarro, that you saw the old Naboo ship that was retrofitted for Mando and Grogu. But like, I also love that the Razor Crest it was his ship, because the Razor Crest in the first season felt like his home, not just like a ship.
I did
And when
like
you
with
get
the
back-
Naboo starfighter that Grogu had his little fishbowl in the back,
Yeah,
where he was
yeah.
able to like just sit there by himself. I did think that was cool. I did,
But
like
I
that
also
part.
loved like when they got in the Razor Crest, what was the first thing Grogu did? He went
He
and
grabbed-
jumped on that little bed in that little room area that I thought was really cool as well. So I thought that was perfect for bringing the ship back and bringing it back. And then I love how they brought the Anzellans in to fix the ship and bring it back to its former Razor Crest glory. All right, Jesselyn, this is your topic portion. What do you think about the Mandalorian music and compared to the Star Wars music?
I know music. You know what? I don't hate Star Wars music. I think Star Wars music's
It's
fine.
the best
Great
music.
instrumental music. I do like the theme song, the song that all three of us lovingly opened our episode with.
On time and on key.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I thought the music was, I mean, at least for the theme it was great. So
Yeah. I like the music overall. I thought every part of the music was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
I
it was
thought it
great. I
was
like
great.
the like club music that was playing when they entered that one world where Rada the Hutt was.
mm.
I like that. I liked that song. I don't remember what they called it on the record, but
Yeah,
With
I
the
haven't gone
birds
back
in the
because
ceiling.
I wanted to like listen to the actual like or watch the actual movie before I listen to the soundtrack.
mm-hmm.
And so like I haven't listened to like a
It's
lot
kind of
of the
hard to do
music
y'all's
now.
tradition of listening to the music on the way back home when it's just all instrumental music, except for
Right,
maybe one
yeah.
that's sang in an alien
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Dun dun
yeah, I haven't
dun.
listened
Dun,
to a
dun.
lot of it, but I love the original soundtrack for it, so
Wow
I agree.
wow wow wow.
Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum.
yeah,
Wow wow
ultimately I liked it. Do you feel like the visuals and everything were that Star Wars level of visuals?
Yeah,
Better.
totally. The only problem is they made another Coruscant, which they keep on doing.
What is
the
that?
Yeah.
the like
The
city planet
planet.
where Rada the Hutt was.
Yeah.
Oh. Sounds
That
like
was first made.
croissant.
No, yeah, Coruscant is a planet.
Croissant.
It does sound like croissant, but it's basically a bigger version of that planet. And
Mm.
Star Wars keeps making the same ones. It's just like the same planet over and over again. So like,
Gotcha.
Yeah, it feels
but
like
this
this
one,
like
this one felt like Chicago or New York, and less of like mega centroplex Coruscant, which I kind of like. I
yeah,
like the subway system and stuff they had.
I also liked like the multi-handed alien that was like the
Yeah, that's the
vendor.
one from Solo. He
Yeah,
was
so
played by some famous director.
oh really?
Uh huh.
Okay, can we talk about this for a moment? How
Shh. What?
Dave Filoni
Oh,
was in the movie itself.
yep.
I thought
Twice.
that was excellent. And Jesselyn was like, "Who?"
So
When I was
cool.
like flipping out, like he's that. She was like, "Who's that?" I was like,
You always
"No."
you always know who he is because he's wearing a cowboy hat.
Yes,
That's
he's always wearing a
he always
cowboy
wearing a
hat.
cowboy hat, and he has something to do with wolves on him. He always is wearing something with a wolf on it.
Yeah. So,
Woof.
yeah, I thought that
Oh, I
was
get that.
great.
I got like woof
Yeah,
woof.
and then I thought that like Zeb was a main character in it. I thought that was really cool too.
Yeah.
From the series, the Rebel series. All right. Let's see. Do you feel like the pace was good for the overall movie?
I would think so. I mean, maybe where Mando was like sickly, it kind of was a little slow. It's kind of like, okay, is he gonna get better, or are we just gonna stay here
I
for
feel
the rest
like
of the
that was
movie?
too long. Yeah, I would say
That felt
that
a
was the
little
slowest
slow.
part of the movie.
Maybe
See,
they
okay,
need
whoa, whoa, whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
pumping the
whoa.
brakes.
I disagree with that. But like this goes back to I'm just different. Like when I say one of the first things I said to RJ when the movie was over was that had a lot of action in it because there were several times where like they just kept fighting and fighting and I felt my face going like really here we go again, and so whereas I like the dramatic theatrical aspect of
The slow
Grogu
part.
taking care of. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my taste. I want the drama. I want the whatever. Um I don't I don't always need to see somebody fighting a monster for an hour.
I just feel like the part where Grogu has to go back to the reptile, the lizard guy, to get the healing stuff for Mando, I feel like
Yeah.
that was a little unnecessary. Maybe he should have gotten the healing stuff the first time he went, instead of having to go back. And then the
Yeah.
reptiles are like, "You've been eating my fish,"
Oh.
Yeah, but that
Oh.
built relationship rapport, which I thought was important
Yeah.
too. So,
Shows kind of Grogu's
he
growing up.
really sounded like Samuel Jackson too. The
A little, yeah.
alien fish guy.
I don't know
Okay.
about that.
Final verdict. What did you guys think about the movie? What if you had to rate it from 1 to 10 overall? What was it?
10 being good?
Yes.
Okay.
How would you guys rate it?
Is 10 ever not good?
I've heard people go where like 1's the best and 10 is bad. I don't know who does that.
Who does that? That's a
I don't-
monster who does that.
Right? It's weird because I'll say 10 and they're like, "What? You mean it's the worst thing?" I'm like, "What?" I know.
No.
It's strange. I don't like them as people.
Okay.
But honestly, like, I think it was probably 8 out of 10. I'd say 8 out of 10. Maybe 7. 7.5.
RJ, what do you
I
think?
I
7.56.
really liked it. I would say it was like probably up there as one of my favorite Star Wars things. I wouldn't say it's better than like 1, 2, and 3. Like
Or
those
Andor.
would probably be 10s.
Mm.
Or Andor I really like too as a series, but I think that it's up there. It's probably better than 7, 8, and 9 in my opinion. So I would say
Yeah.
it's like an 8 or a 9 for me. I would think like it's up
7.56
there
is my
for me.
review. Only because it didn't have more of the BDX and I didn't see an Anzellan riding a BDX. If it had both of those, it would be like an 8.56 or a 9.
Noah focusing on all the wrong things.
8.56.
It's a 7.56 right now. That's a whole point just for a guy riding a robot.
Okay, I'm gonna give my rating on 2 different scales. Okay,
Okay.
of all the Star Wars movies, and I'm just looking at Star Wars, just of movie genre, I would give it like 9, 10. All right. Of all movies in general that I have seen lately, like if I'm gonna put Mandalorian on the same level as Project
As,
Hail
like,
Mary,
Or Guardians
gonna
of the
give-
Galaxy.
I'm gonna give Mandalorian an 8.
Yeah, I would definitely agree
Okay.
with that.
That's pretty high
So-
for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. I'm a pretty harsh critic, so
Mhm.
pretty good.
Yeah.
We thought Mom would even like it. Like, if out of any of the Star Wars movies, I think she would like
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
Because she watched all the Marvel movies up until Avengers,
Ooh.
right? She's excited
Wow.
for Guardians of the Galaxy.
I bet she is. She should be. She should be.
You
She
should
knows
come
I'm
over
a
the night
fan,
we watch it.
right?
You should come
Yes.
over.
Oh, for
Have
sure.
me over. When are you watching it?
I have no idea.
Well, you
That's
gotta,
up to
you gotta
Spencer.
tell me.
Spencer's our Marvel like supervisor. He's like, we're watching this one next because it doesn't happen before this one, but it happens after this one, so we have to watch this one now.
Okay, well, you got to give me 40 minutes to get to your house. So give me a 40-minute head up, okay?
We're starting in about 20 minutes. I said 40. Well, with trailers, it'll be about
I'll
starting when you
text
get.
Spencer. I'll text Spencer.
Yes. No. Do it.
Yeah, overall I really liked the movie. I thought it was great. I would definitely buy it. Like this is not one I'm gonna
Yeah.
wait till it comes out on Disney Plus. I'm probably gonna end up buying it before it comes out.
I wouldn't because I don't
Bella
normally
will probably
movies a
watch it
second time.
100 times.
Oh, that's
So-
awesome. She likes Grogu.
She's been watching Young Jedi now because of this.
Oh,
The like little kid
did she
Star
watch
Wars
the
show.
like cartoon with Grogu? The cartoon show?
I didn't know there was a cartoon
didn't know
show.
there
It's
was
like
one.
Grogu and the Dust Bunnies or something. It's like a cartoon.
I
Look
didn't know that
into
was
it.
a thing.
I
Yeah,
heard
for
something
sure.
about it. I'm not sure if it's come out yet or what, but I heard about it.
Okay. Yeah, that would be a huge thing for her if there was a Grogu show. She would watch it on repeat for like the next week or month or however long. Yeah, ultimately I would definitely go watch it again. I think I'm gonna own it. I'm surprised it's not doing better in the box office. I'm
Yeah, I
actually
am
a little
too.
disappointed.
Well, it came out with 2 really big movies that are horror
Yeah.
movies, and they're like doing shockingly well right now. So
Yeah. Well, and I think that too, Mandalorian and Grogu is a lot different in that it's a series on Disney Plus that not everybody has seen or cares about. Like Dave Filoni and John Favreau.
No,
Favreau?
Happy.
Favreau
Happy Hogan.
have built a universe that is hard to get into unless you keep up with all the cartoons and the
Yeah.
series and
Like
so
you can
I get
easily
where,
watch it, but like getting every reference, you have to know all of Star Wars. You know,
yeah, exactly. So I can see where people would be a little more hesitant. And then
Like-
like with the streaming era, it can be a little difficult because people are like, I'll just wait until it comes out on Disney Plus.
like for instance of like the interconnectivity of the Mandalorian Grogu, the
Yeah.
battle, the Din Djarin battle in the arena.
Yeah.
Whenever him and Rada are fighting, those are the same monsters that were in the first movie, episode
Yeah.
4, on the hologram chess table. And a deeper cut, that arena is from the 2002 Bounty Hunter game. The way the arena's designed, it's from that game.
Huh. Interesting.
Isn't that cool?
All right.
We were
Well,
talking
thank
about
you,
Star Wars
Jocelyn,
games
for
a little while ago.
I'm getting
thank you
to
for
the point where
enduring.
I'm checking out.
Thank you for enduring this episode.
Too much
with us
Star
and
Wars has
for
been said.
enduring and watching the movie with me, and I really
Yes.
appreciate it. And I'm glad that our daughter is into it now.
We get
I'm
to
glad
watch
your
all my
daughter's into
shows
it
for the
now.
next month.
I get to talk to her about Star Wars now.
Yeah,
Yes,
she'll love
she
that.
will.
Maybe the only girl
will
I've
love
ever
that.
talked to Star Wars about.
No, you have that coworker.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, so there
Focus
you
in
go.
on that.
All right, well, that's going to do it for today's episode. We really appreciate you hanging out and listening with us. Next week, we should start our trip report series, and that's probably going to be a couple of episodes because we've got a lot to talk about with this most recent trip that we've done
Exactly.
to Disney World. So
A lot
definitely
has
catch us
opened.
next week, and we will continue to be weekly now that we're back. I apologize about the little bit of a break. Thanks so much
Yes.
for those
It's
who
all
have endured
RJ's
with
fault.
us.
Me and Justin had nothing to do this.
Yeah, I mean, Jesslyn wasn't in the hospital one of those days. So,
I was
at
in the
all.
hospital.
I was at the beach for 2
Dying.
weeks.
Yeah, she had a graduation and then she was in the hospital. So, but yeah, definitely thank you so much for hanging out and listening with us. We really appreciate it every single week. And now we are not going to switch to the same pre-recorded message we played last week.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our show. Before you go, please don't forget to gather your belongings and head over to our email at carouselpod@gmail.com to ask us your questions. Oh, and wouldn't you believe it? You can now bring the magical sense of vacation right into your home. Check out the Magic Candle Company and use our exclusive link with the code CarouselPod at checkout to get 15% off your order. And don't forget, we're here to help you plan your future Disney trips. Just send us a message at rj@famvia.com. Until next time, we'll see you in a great, big, beautiful week.